Well, another day. I got off to a late start this morning, but I finally wrapped up work at my office, so I thought I'd just kind of catch up with everybody. Good morning. It was interesting. I had a part of my devotion this morning, or my focus this morning when I first got up, was Deuteronomy. Doggone it. I can't remember the scripture exactly, but the gist of the story this morning was that God has created this opportunity for us and basically given it to us. It's like walking into a supermarket full of everything you need, and all you have to do is pull the box off and you receive it. It was a different way of processing that, the delays and the struggles and the challenges about how come I haven't gotten this. I'm doing all the work. I've put in the time. I've, spent the money. I'm not getting anywhere and all that stuff. What's going on, God? What am I supposed to learn? Or, the other side is that, you go down the road of trying to manifest these things and say, you use some affirmation process of every single morning saying, this is mine, I accept it, I own it, it's here, it should be here, I've worked for it, I deserve it, all of those things. And you go through that whole process and none of that stuff's still happening. At the end of the day, I found that, you end up back in this spot where this spiritual guidance or thing that we all seek for, affirmation or confirmation. This Bible verse kind of laid it out for me this morning, saying, look, God's already given it to you. He gave you the passage to get there. He's also given you the land once you get there, and it doesn't matter who owns it or who's in front of you that you might have to battle right now to get it. So no matter what the turmoil looks like or whatever, you own it. It's yours. Take it. In other words, show up. That's really all this comes down to. So today when I went into my office, I had a different attitude about how I was going to communicate with my bosses, and how I felt I was going to, I didn't know how the conversations were going to go, because I know they were still waiting on me to enter some data into the computer, which is something I hate doing. And I just couldn't stand the thought of having to sit in front of my computer like a circus animal and enter data into the computer for them to be able to process the sale that I had made yesterday. But I was going to do it. I still was going to have a conversation with my boss about it. And so I had this whole planned scenario about what I would say if he said this and all that kind of crap. And after reading that verse this morning, I just decided that I don't need to have that conversation. And I don't necessarily need to do that work right this minute. It doesn't have to be on his timing. I know I need to get it done. I'll do it. But I think setting that aside and realizing that, you know what, I'll do it. I'll do the work, and the reward is going to be that they're going to pay me a bonus, and I'm going to be recognized by my peers. So I've earned it. The passage is I have to enter the data, and the land and the tribe that I have to battle is my own boss. But once I accepted that and realized what was going on, the morning just seemed like a cakewalk. So anyway, for whatever that's worth, life is hard, man. It is hard. You overthink stuff. You're always trying to consider angles on am I going to offend somebody? Am I too far out over my skis? Should I make this commitment? Am I, committing to stuff I shouldn't or can't do? So anyway, I had a really good conversation this morning with John Cullen too. John and I have become really close friends. He's a trusted person, and he's got a great podcast. He does weekly shows. He's also on X. Super good dude. I mentioned him yesterday or the day before in my presentation, and he's turned out to be a really good friend. We talked today about not only my current path on my career, but my relationship with the other companies in the HVAC, the heating and air conditioning, indoor air quality space that I've been working on, and also my podcast thoughts, as well as my book. So I've got a lot of good feedback from John today on that. He's willing to help any way he can in terms of introductions and making my promoting me, if you would, or promoting some of my goods and services, etc. once I get dialed in. So it was just a good confirmation call from him. And it's always good to talk to somebody that believes in you and can give you sort of a validation that, you know, your thoughts are on the right path, and you've proven it before, so there's no reason it can't work this time. All stuff that I miss now because I don't have that from Tammy. She always gave me that validation, and I never questioned anything about what I did or my path. She always told me that I was either doing something good or I was not on the right path. But I don't have that anymore, and it's weird to seek it. I never ever did that in my life before. I never did things for recognition. I did things because they made people happy, and the end result would be I might get a reward or something out of it. But I didn't do things for the specific validation, although she provided it all the time. I miss her so much, man. God. I have really good friends that go out of their way, like John and a few others, that to make sure that I'm aware that I'm a human being and that my contribution matters, and that I'm appreciated and those sorts of things. And I'm forever grateful for those people in my life right now. So I'm not discounting that there aren't people out there that would do it, but you should hold on to those people when you find them, when you realize how much of an impact they are really having in your life. And you may miss it for a long time, you may miss it every day, but if you stop for a second and just kind of gather your thoughts, and you realize that these people, how much of an impact they're having on your life just by telling you or acknowledging that you're a good person, that you're doing good things, that you're having impact on others, that your words matter, that people care, that all those sorts of things, you should get those people close and keep them close. All we have is time and relationships. The time we have on this planet and the relationships we form, that's all we have. So I would focus on that myself. I'm trying to do it but I don't do a very good job. It's hard to sort of give yourself credit for stuff, although it helps keep you focused even short term. But so today was a different day in the morning than what I had anticipated. I thought I was going to maybe have some challenges and things like that. But after getting through those thoughts regarding what God has pretty much laid out and said is yours, and you just got to go take it, I had a different attitude. And as a result, when I got there, I had no challenges. My bosses were super excited about the sale and the opportunity that they sort of woke up to, going, "Oh my God, you've got a huge skill set that we kind of knew, but we weren't sure about. And thanks so much for putting in the time and the work." And also, it was a completely different conversation that I anticipated, and I'm thankful for that. But it was probably the same conversation. In other words, the fact that I went in with a different attitude probably was the difference maker on the response I got from my bosses. And that would have been the same regardless of how I went in there. But because I had a different attitude going in, I came out with a different response. And I'm very grateful for that, and grateful that I was sort of woke up to that this morning. But good conversation with John. We got... I'm thankful for him. Like I said, when you find those people, make sure that you keep them close and you recognize them. I'm thankful for him. And I also had a good conversation with another couple close friends of mine who encouraged me to stay focused on my company and my product development. I haven't talked a lot about that, but I've been in the indoor air quality space about clean air and what we breathe for a long time, and to the point where I formed a company with two other partners, and we have some patents and things like that. The partnership fell apart, so the company's not going to go forward after a year, but the technology and my passion still exists, and I want to get it done. I'm working on trying to develop or take that product and release it to the public through maybe e-commerce or something. But this new conversation I'm having with Well Air, the Dublin-based company I told you guys about yesterday, may end up being a great conversation and a great relationship, depending on how they come back to me about what role they want me to play in helping them grow the company. There may be a place for me to offer my product through their network and their distribution, which would be a game changer for me. I also had great calls yesterday. If you remember, I had meetings with the Certified Health Nut, Troy Casey, great dude. We talked about synergy and how I can help him from a business perspective at scale and building infrastructure and things like that. And how he might be able to help guide me and coach me on the social media side because I'm no good at that. I have no idea. I'm good at brick and mortar. If you have a product and we need to develop it, or we need to manufacture it, or we need to put it together, find pieces from other parts of the country or the world or whatever, or we need money, or we need marketing, all that kind of stuff, I can do that. But when it comes to social media, man, I have no idea how to build a presence or any credibility at all in that space. So it's nice to have somebody like him. He's got 300,000 followers on Instagram, and I don't know how many on YouTube, etc. But he definitely has his finger on the pulse of that part of the new digital industry, if you would. So had great conversations with him. I'm excited to see where this takes us in the future, but he's one of those good dudes that will probably always be in my life from this point forward, no matter what. But yeah, it was a good conversation. I'm very thankful. Like I said, life is hard, man. Last night I had some rough spots where my emotions took over. It's a difficult time right now, having to face that. It was just a couple years ago that I lost Tam, and time doesn't make things easier that way. Time magnifies, actually, and exposes the difficulties that you face now, and sort of exposes, God, how do I say it? I realize now, it's sort of the take it for granted attitude. That's not how I was, but you get in life, you get into habits and rituals, and you oftentimes, and I'm guilty of this, you miss the fact that, so all the things that she would do, all the things that she did to give me confidence and validate me as a human being, as a good business person, as a good husband, as a great father, all those things, I didn't take them for granted. I just didn't realize the impact they were having with me until I no longer got them. So yeah, that sucks. And you find yourself searching for that. And I would say that if you're not careful, you could go down take some wrong paths. You can make some wrong decisions. I'm thankful that that hasn't been my case, and I've got good support, good people around me that I love and that love me. So I'll get through that part of it, but time doesn't heal. It just exposes how important those people were to you, and that's hard. It's super hard. Anyway, I'm gonna go have lunch with my youngest boy, catch up with him, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. When I get to them, I'll respond. I promise I will. I hope that we'll get through this first week. This was my commitment to get this done, and go into next week with a different sort of focus. Still continue to give updates on the daily grind of trying to manage life with multiple jobs and independent business, as well as family and all the economic struggles and things like that go on. But I hope to be able to kind of pivot and start focusing on all the good stuff. Life is hard. There's no easy way around it, but there are some great stories and successes that we can draw from and capitalize on and share and help each other. And I want this community to be that. I want this community to be just that, where all we do is find love and joy. We acknowledge the challenges and the difficulties that we face, but we support each other in the community with love and hope, and we choose our words that way and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry for rambling. It's just part of the exercise of learning how to do this, but I will get through the comments. Please comment, and please share, and please subscribe, and please do all of that stuff. I'm trying to make this a legitimate place where people will want to hang out, and where we can help each other. I believe in that. I want to be part of that. I want to be the solution. I don't want to be part of the problem. So thank you guys very much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.